Hey everyone, I'm rather Incoherent, and today's deck is Tempo Overheal Priest. Looking at the Overheal package, there's a lot of early minions in this that you would logically just want to curve out into and try to snowball a board, particularly things like Mana Geode and Heartthrob. So why not try to build just a full-on Tempo deck, topping out at Hedonus and Posic, and try to run over the board. The top end is just remove their taunt, trigger your Overheals, and keep going, and the deck's really not that complicated. It's pretty much just a, from turn one, play stuff, go face, hard as you can type of deck. It feels almost as all-in as Token Druid does to me. But that doesn't mean it's bad. Token Druid has oftentimes been a top-tier deck, and it's time to find out whether or not this new Overheal stuff from Priest is as well. I'm optimistic about it, but it's very new and it's hard to know exactly how it's going to go down. Alright, good. Got Deck Tracker working even though it thinks all of my decks are wild for some reason. We're up against Mage. That's alarming because I don't want it to be Amalgam Mech Mage, but I also think that Light Show Mage is definitely real and OTK Mage might be real. We're gonna hold... Do we hold Fan Club into Heartthrob and just immediately coin it out? There's no way you toss Heartthrob with Fan Club in hand. Heartthrob. Just, you know, put some U's in there. They're pretty similar. I'm seriously looking at Fan Club, coin Cathedral into Heartthrob. Is that too greedy? Mage doesn't have hard removal. That's not a thing. I think this snowballs just straight over them, doesn't it? I mean, I could easily be wrong. In fact, I probably am wrong, but I am optimistic and we're gonna try it. That's the weird thing about this deck, by the way. I described it as being like very hard aggro committing from turn one, but a lot of the stuff you do, 4 of your 1-drops are just things that you use later. Even though you're going from turn one, a lot of it's not immediately all in. Anyway, you have a random spell. I really don't want to be this. It's probably not Snap Freeze or Ice Barrier. If it is this... Well, I guess the other thing is I don't need these, right? So I take the only one that's useful to me, and it's good that he didn't take that. Now, I'm pretty sure it's easily Fan Club over Idol's Adoration. I don't think there's any real debate there. So if he took Ice Barrier, that implies he's a much slower deck. I mean, we already know he's not Mech Mage because he's running this, and that doesn't narrow it down yet. Again, this still doesn't narrow it down. I'm leaning towards Ramoth and not OTK stuff, but I'm not actually confirmed at all so far. Since he didn't take the transform, I'm gonna do it. I'm going. We're just coining out a second location. And then Heartthrob's gonna come down and stuff's gonna happen. Unless we get another Fan Club, in which case I will actually just play Fan Club Idol's Adoration and keep waiting. I don't want to do that though. I want to curve out into Posic here. We know that's an Ice Barrier because we saw it was created by. It's not objection. We know that for a fact. So we slam Heartthrob. We click the button. And what is our 3-drop? No, we just want Heartthrob to be harder to remove, so we're going to buff him up instead of the Vizier. And we're going to see if this can just curve out and run him over, which is, you know, the entire game plan of this deck. Find high-value Overheal stuff to do gross things. So that is... Volume Up actually doesn't mean anything. I was going to say that's confirmation that it's Light Show, but I mean, what Mage deck isn't running Volume Up? What am I talking about? Anyway, you're not allowed to play those cards. I mean, he theoretically is allowed to play those cards, but removing Posic is really very not good for him. Poor Prismatic Elemental. That's probably not doing anything in the... Alright, that did less than nothing. It usually does more than that. He's getting more rewinds. Or sorry, he's getting more Light Shows with the rewind, not surprising. I'm gonna slam down a couple more guys. I'm going to heal them all. I think I'm gonna miss my Heartthrob proc for this, but I'm still gonna draw 2 cards. I'm gonna send Posic to the face, and I want to make it hard to remove him. I can draw 2 cards here with this. I'm just gonna get a random 2-drop and bank free hero powers here. I think... I think that's the best thing to do. I have too many options here. So he's dead, right? Like there's a lot of play between here and then, but he's dead, right? There's not a comeback to this. Fire Sale exists, but on its own, Fire Sale's not enough. Yeah, that's fine. Honestly, I don't mind this. I didn't have any room for more minions off of the Heartthrob anyway. So I can use this and get a random 6-drop. It'll also draw me a card. I actually still have too many minions because this is still on the board. There's just too much value. It wasn't supposed to be like this. I'm gonna look for a new thing to do here. Hell yeah, that'll do. I don't have the heal for him right now. Do I want to put him on the board anyway? Yeah, I just want to put this on the board to threaten him. If he just does random light shows. And I'll throw this down too to further disincentivize just throwing out light show after light show. I don't want it to actually do anything useful for him. And then I assume something on this board won't be here next turn. All right, let's see who's getting hit. Still really not much getting done. This time something's probably gonna happen. Oh no, Adonis, you got sniped. You didn't deserve it. Well, at this point, I think it's time to get this guy back to full. And then Sun Fury Clergy, and I'm gonna keep on buffing Pozic. My opponent could actually just be dead. Is that the case? 9, 13, 14, 15, 16. We're not there yet. 17. We're not there yet. Do we actually want a random 2/2? Or a... I don't think we want a random 2/2. I think we want this to be 2 mana more. Let's see what we get here. Just, you know, normal amounts of value for an aggro deck. Once again, I'll just end my turn early because my board is full of things that are beating him to death. This is a good showing for Tempo Overheal Priest, I guess. Like, I'm just playing into the light shows, like, go ahead, deal 12 random damage to my board. It just gives me room to do things. I'm dying for space over here. I don't think you can play that slow, man. You're dead to Solid Alibi. Like, that doesn't save you. Like, you don't have 7 health left. That was really gross. Good job, Pozic. Good job, Heartthrob. Good job, the entire package. The plan works. Now we get into the real test, which is, does the plan work consistently? I've always known that high rolls on this deck are going to be good. The question is, what about other versions of the outcome? What if I'm not curving into Fan Club and Pozic, right? We will hold Fan Club every single time, though. There is no curve that doesn't benefit from Fan Club. So right now, we're looking at, like, turn 3 Clergy into Dreamboat. That's pretty garbage. We can't just throw out Clergy. That's completely unsafe. At best, we're looking at, like... I'm assuming this is control. There's so many cool control builds for Warlock. If it's Imps, I probably have a better chance, to be honest. I would love to see a Flame Imp come down. Would I? Is that even good for me? Flame Imp does sort of wreck my hand as well. I just feel like I'm not in a good spot, generally speaking. All right, how do I feel about second Dreamboat? How's this hand doing? Am I just sitting here? Am I gonna play this and Fan Club for 1 card? That sounds awful. You are standing in my life. Overheal entering the game or not, hero power and emote is still the play sometimes, unfortunately. I just can't justify playing out Crimson Clergy and risking it to all sorts of removal effects, namely... What's it called? Why can I not remember the name of such a basic spell? Drain Life, Drain Soul. Alright, so this is more triggers of this effect. I'm probably gonna go next turn. But for now, I'm just sitting on it and being really sad. Now, if there is justice in the world, I should lose. An aggro deck that is essentially skip turns 1, 2, and 3 should not be doing well. From his perspective, he might think I'm a control deck, which is always the worst feeling when you're an aggro deck. All right, that's a play. I don't need the buff. I just need cards. I need stuff in my hand that is not the current stuff I have. Not exactly the way I imagined I would use Synchronize when I put it in the deck. Honestly, I'm not sure how I imagined I'd use this. I just sort of figured it would somehow make sense. And looking at it now, I'm like, I'm not really sure this should be in the deck, but it's working out here. 2 mana Crimson Clergy is good enough. So now I can put stuff on the board. That's neat. Can I do anything that matters? On turn 7, I have Heartthrob Cannibalize against a hopefully large minion. On this turn, I have Area Effect Heals with Dreamboat. That's fine. I'm expecting them to get removed. I've been assuming that if they go down, they get killed immediately. Having removed that, I feel better about putting other stuff on the board. Or having expended Plague Eruption, rather. I feel better about playing new minions. 2 drops, 1 drop. I think it's Overheal, Mana Geode, Tour Guide, and Heal the Tour Guide. Or sorry, Heal the Mana Geode. Yeah, I want to get these guys down so that I have targets for the Dreamboat next turn. And if he does have AoE, I mean, this feels like a really bad matchup. This feels borderline unwinnable. Like, I have no optimism here, because I have a lot of optimism about Control Warlock. I'm looking at this like, man, imagine he plays any of the 6 different area of effects he has access to. Like, the board's just already dead to Defile, which I know he runs. Unfortunately, overhealing minions only counts if they have overheal, I think. I think healing this 2/2 doesn't matter. I could be wrong. Well, it's time to generate a very random board, isn't it? All right, let's go. I guess that's what we're doing. It's Heartthrob, Sun Fury, and I'm gonna use all the heals available to push damage here.
Choices.
All right. Let's see it. We have a 3/3 Snapdragon. Essentially just a 3/3 Framester. What about our 6-drop, though? Hey, Olgra. I'm not playing Menagerie Warrior right now. What are you doing here? Now, unfortunately, I still don't think this is going to go very well, but that is one hell of a board out of nowhere. What's the worst case here? Does like a 3 damage AoE like Opera Singer? We're left with a 2/1, a 7/1, a 3/4, an injured Heartthrob. We cannibalize it. It's honestly not that bad. All right, double Arson Accusation on my biggest minions is fairly upsetting. But I can slam Dreamboats, and we're about to figure out how this overheal mechanic works. Because if it just matters that he overheals them, then they're great. But if he has to specifically trigger an overheal effect, this is going to be very sad. So, there's not room for Tol'vir, so I'm not playing him. How do you work? Hell yes. Unfortunately, there's no overheal targets left on my board. They've all been removed. But summon 2 Boulder Fist Ogres, essentially, for 4 mana is pretty good. I just wish I got to use the other 3. If he tries to block with a top minion, I've got Cannibalize. Removal is still very much what I'm scared of, but that is not it, Chief. I'm not scared of that at all. Yeah, I think I just won. I think there is no justice, and despite passing repeatedly at the start... Ah, damn, Shallow Grave is in the deck. I do not think Shallow Grave is a good card, but it's obviously doing a lot of work here. Well, he's back at full health, nothing to be done about that. But that doesn't mean anything bad happened, really. We're just right back to where we were a second ago. All right, let's try again. Let's see if anything happens that sticks this time around. I swear to God, if you just hard run Twisting Nether. You never know what they're going to get up to on the first stage of the expansion. They could be running Twisting Nether. Well, that doesn't kill me. So he's gonna be at 19? That's dead, right? 7, 3, definitely dead, right? I'm not doing the math, because, like, there's no way he's alive. I refuse to count this. Yeah. Alright, cool, we win that one, I guess. Dreamboat looking like a pretty good card. Glad he works the way I was hoping he did and not the way I feared he might. So I was saying I thought this deck was super all-in off the mulligan. And I'm sure there are draws that are, but honestly, I'm feeling like this deck just makes big boards for a very long time. This has surprising amounts of longevity. Do I want to hold Heartbreaker Adonis with a Tour Guide? Nope. Unless it has specifically Fan Club in my opening hand, I don't think I'm ever going to hold Adonis. It's just too slow and Fan Club is necessary to get his effect to work. I can coin Tour Guide Crimson Clergy and heal the Crimson Clergy. That definitely makes it a lot less appealing. I can just play the Tour Guide. And then after that, I can put down Tol'vir and heal them. I can coin into Heartthrob and heal that, which is probably better. I don't think I ever coin out the Crimson Clergy here, not with Bonebreaker on board. My opponent just having a 1/1 here is really good for me. Also, interesting that he attacked face there. That was just... He gave up 1 durability for 3 face damage. If I'm assuming my opponent's good at the game, that means he has another weapon in hand. Now, I can play Heartthrob and heal him with my coin. The reason it's good, though, is I can play Crimson Clergy into Dreamboat next turn, but I'm expecting this is just to get hit immediately and then Frost Striked, because he missed his curve. It implies he has something else. I think this happily deals with most things he can do on his curve, and I don't think I need to invest the coin here. I'm very worried that investing coin here backfires pretty hard, whereas this easily deals with something like Chillfallen Baron. It prevents Nerubian Vizier from being very good. It's not exactly good against Nerubian Vizier, but it's fine.
The more you struggle, the better.
Yeah, so here I can play Crimson Clergy into Dreamboat, or I can play Coin Mana Geode into Dreamboat if I want to fight for board instead, which might be better. Yeah, I'm going to Coin Mana Geode into Dreamboat because I have next turn Crimson Clergy Sunfury Cleric. So... Unfortunately, my Dreamboat won't grow if I trade here first. So I'm just going to go face. And this is a pretty decent board. He can trade in Contract Quarter, kill it, and then hit the 2/2. That is threatening, but not that good. And I think it's the best case scenario for him right now. Oh, hey, it's not Frost. This is... Oh, wait, that's created by Nerubian Vizier. Never mind. Was that many 2/2s or 1/4/4? Oh, that's terrifying. All right. So there's 2 very large minions in his hand. That's very important to keep track of. This trade probably happens. Crimson Clergy, Sunfury. Yeah, we trade here. We get the value here. Crimson Clergy goes down. We heal everything. And we go face. Draw a card, get a 2/2. And eventually, something with +4/+4 is going to come down. I'm looking at Morrow Manipulators at this point. Maybe he's running Ghost Riders on 5. School Teacher. Taking me to the school. Hard Knocks. That is a hell of a stat line.
Pick me, pick me.
All right, so he's playing Control, which makes sense. I'm an aggro deck. I like, even though I go for a while, I'm very much an aggro deck. Adonis isn't really able to be triggered here. In fact, healing in general isn't really able to be triggered here. We take the value trade, get the Overheal, and see what's happening. Power Chord Synchronize isn't actually playable this turn for its buff, but I can just play it to get another this guy. It's probably worthwhile to try to get Dreamboat value by getting him back to my hand. I don't know. I feel like this is a race. If I play Heartthrob, he eats the Heartthrob, but does that protect anyone else in a meaningful way? Not really. I'm just gonna throw out a Holy Champion and go face. We're obviously not killing his 8/8, and we're probably losing the game. But I feel like that's the best play, which is not good. Draw a card, play a 1/4 is not what we're looking to do. We really needed to cannibalize for that 8/8, and if we had it, we'd probably just win the game. But without it, it's pretty rough. So he's down to 22. 20, 18, 16, 13. The Light It Burns finally showed up. That's good, at least. Power Chord Synchronize, the Light It Burns. We have a 3-drop after that. I want to heal, actually, instead of playing a 3-drop, don't I? So I Synchronize the Dreamboat. Light It Burns, heal. I'm never getting the finale value then. This always happens. Let's not think about that anymore. I'm turning this into a 2/2. And I want another one of you in my hands. Because I don't know how I'm winning without another one. It's not just because I want that to heal my board and trigger overheal effects. I also want it because I don't see how I'm ever getting Adonis off without a heal 3 in my hand. Same with Heartthrob. We knew that was likely going to happen at some point. We just have to not have him hit 2 in a row. Like, sometimes they just have both in the top 12 cards of your deck and you lose. We've seen the 1 Discover effect he used so far. We have Adonis Dreamboat, which is probably the play. Heartthrob Dreamboat doesn't have room on the board. Healing our own face has a lot of value since, like, our only real fear here is that we just die. Heartthrob only affects minions, so we don't want to play him then. Honestly, Clergy, Heartthrob, Heal Face is probably the way to go. We are always dead to the second when there's not really any way to play around that. So, do you just have the second one? Because if so, I will just be dead. I can accept dying to the nuts. It's not even the nuts, it's just... This is not a board that wants to hit running Frostworm's Fury. Or not a deck type, rather. This game plan is very soft to Frostworm's Fury. He doesn't have it, apparently, which is good for us. But also, realistically, I should be much further ahead on board, usually going into Frostworm's Fury, so losing here is fair. Alright, yeah, I've been thinking he had a big Bone Marrow manipulator for a while now. That was about as bad as it could be, really. He's just like, oh shit, that was supposed to do something. I'm guessing he didn't have very many corpses. That just sort of stopped immediately. Yeah, he only had 3. We've been there. I know that feeling. Alright, let's see where it goes. Sniped my draw engine, but that's completely fine. It's one of the few things where hitting it didn't matter for me. Yeah, he's got to deal with a 7-8, and that's just brutal for him. I think he's just dead. He's out of attacks, right? We actually got there somehow? Huh. He didn't have the second Frostworm's Fury. That's really all that matchup is at that point. Is he really hilariously unfavored? Because my opening felt rough there. I'm going to be interested editing this to see how that game actually played out, because it felt much more dire than apparently it was. So unfortunately, no matter how this game goes, the last game went terribly. There's not a lot to say about it. I drew a weak curve. My opponent drew the absolute best possible Renathal Blood Death Knight curve. And as an aggro deck should in that circumstance, I got crushed. I just wish I got crushed in a more interesting way so that I could show it to you. I never hold Cannibalize. I never hold Cathedral. Is Dreamboat good enough here? I don't think so. I think Dreamboat's an awkward card in that you almost never hold it in your opening hand. All right, so we got mana geodes for days. Like, we have all the things that overheal, just none of the ways to heal efficiently. Oh, it's Big Dreams Hunter. All right, let's see it. I'm not convinced this is even remotely close to a real deck. I'm gonna coin Mana Geode, because that might, like, encourage a response from him just because it makes my hero power threatening. And otherwise, I'm not doing anything. I'm not playing I'm not gonna play Crimson Clergy because it's gonna have the exact same response on board. Oh well, just doesn't really care and gives me a good trade. I'm gonna take that to mean he has no alternatives. Play the second one, take the value trade. All right, literally nothing on 3 either. That's a curve appropriate of a deck that runs Banjosar. I'm gonna play out all of this, and then we're gonna get to play Sunfury Clergy next turn. At which point our board will be filled, just like our hearts. Come on, you don't have anything. There's nothing on 4 that serves as good removal that you didn't have access to on 3. Yeah, exactly. So, all right, that's a good card. Let's see what we get first here. Because 3 health is on this. Our board's filled, you have 3, we draw a card. Can't imagine we're playing anything over Idol's Adoration. Do I want a card draw here, or do I want to push this to 5 attack? I'm going to push this to 5 attack and go full face.
Does this hurt?
He wanted me to trade. All right, I'm going to leave this in, but this really isn't any more interesting of a game than the one I just lost. All right, it's our first Druid of the expansion. Let's see if Hero Power Druid is all it's cracked up to be. And if he's not Hero Power Druid, I'm genuinely confused. Like, why would you play any other archetype? That's not entirely accurate. It's more that Hero Power Druid is a kind of small cluster of high value cards that fit into your early curve. It's just hard to come up with a good reason not to play them in basically any other package. All right, so we play Idol's Adoration into Mana Geode, and we heal the Mana Geode, and it's just a 1-mana 2/2 that gives us even more value later. It's incredible. I really hope that he just all right, that's great for us. That's fantastic. It's looking like we might be playing Cannibalize on the first thing he summons, literally no matter what it is, because this is not the hand. This is not what we wanted. The good news is almost every single card in our deck can be played from here. Oh, and we'll almost certainly draw one now. Thank you. That one. And we get... it's a Bloodfin Raptor. I can live with you. Yeah, if you blank out that text box like a summoned minion would, that is actually just literally a Bloodfin Raptor. So we want to cannibalize whatever he plays, assuming he plays anything, but we also just sort of want to get stuff out of our hand, right? Which is not easy at the minute. Oh, I was using that. I can heal this for draw, that's not really helpful. I'm gonna play this out, there's no reason not to. Oh, hey, Pozic, right on time. Literally 1 card late. What is your battle cry? Oh, hell yeah. Get buffed up and get in my hand, buddy. We're playing hand buff Priest now. This is a super normal card that should be in my deck. All right, yeah, whatever. Give a minion in your hand for attack. Pozic's gonna go hard. And then he's gonna go to sleep if Heartthrob is any indication, but he's gonna try his best. I've been wondering whether or not Pozic's actually playable in control decks. Like, aggro decks don't want to play 3-mana 3/3s either. They're just obviously able to go face, they're already winning board. That's a pretty good 1-mana wild growth that comes with a 1/1. So we have Cannibalize here to draw a card. Not that drawing cards are even that good at the minute. We have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, bringing him down to 14. If I could afford to play both of them, I would, but I can't. I can play this, play both of these, and then synchronize it again. All right, let's go. Oh, I almost played the location. I thought I had 6 mana. I was lamenting that I don't have 6 mana. I don't need to cash in this draw, so I'm not going to. Like, with due process, drawing with this just doesn't matter at all. Like, even a little bit. Hey, there's the hero power stuff. I knew it would be there. I feel like I'm in a good spot, because Druid is not great from behind. And also, I have a... I'm gonna have a very, very large Pozic, man. Oh, did I just copy the wrong one like an idiot? That's sad. Hey, I'm happy about that. I want to see everyone play Invisible. They're not going to. He's not going to be good, but I want it to happen. So this dies, that trades 5, 6, 7, 8. He's down from 15 to 7. Do I cannibalize? I definitely do if Heartthrob is awake. Otherwise, probably not. I think he's waking up this turn. Yeah, he's waking up. I cannibalize, I go face. I play this. What are you about? Neat. Anyway, I'd like more random 2-drops, please. Doomsayer's in the pool. Oh god, I hate that. Oh, I just started liking Heartthrob so much less. My heart dropped when I hit that hero power. That was actually probably an incorrect hero power. That was like the one way to lose. What do you have that deals 4 AoE? What's going on? Or even 4 targeted? I don't know. I think he has nothing and it doesn't matter what he sacks that into. He was just getting the hero power armor. I think he's going through the motions of dying right now. Yeah, this is looking a lot like a swan song. Or a spider song, as it were. GG, good job, Tempo Priest. Oh, get out of here. No one cares that they have taunt. You think I don't have the second cannibalize in hand? No, actually, he does not think that. Also, I believe he may have been dead on board. Tempo Overheal Priest is looking like a pretty real deck. It doesn't feel like it's quite the menace that Mech Mage was, but Tempo Overheal Priest definitely feels pretty solid. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this deck. Tomorrow I'll get started playing more combo and control stuff, but I've been really interested in seeing how some of the newer aggro stuff works since I saw the tools available for it. Anyways, if you liked the video, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff really does help the channel grow, and I deeply appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.